Today I am presenting a conference with the title of Integrating Recreational Soccer into Higher Education, a Pathway to Enhance Health and Fitness in India. So as we know, with coming of National Education Policy, it gives important aspects to integrate sports, games, physical fitness, mental health towards making a compulsory part of academic curriculum, academic syllabus, further developing the wholesome characteristic, wholesome nature of an individual. So with this, I would like to start my session. As we know that there are quite a bit more challenges and problems in terms of integrating health. And it's a whole world issue. It is specifically important for collegiate athletes, university students, those who are in a nurturing stage of their lifespan, where they get challenges like mental health issues, physical health issues, emotional health, social cohesion. Day by day, the stats suggest that the things are degrading. One important aspect is that to introduce any sports, any games that can contribute to the larger continuum of health and fitness into the students, as there are few issues because of which the degradation has been found pertinent and significant. Few of the issues are the increasing academic pressure, the increasing competitiveness among the students, unhealthy lifestyles, eating disorders, and many more than that. So a niche area or a gray area is to find out any sports or game that is very easily affordable, less financial implication is there, can be played by any of the populations comprising age, gender, people even having clinical populations of that. So recently a new term has been coined as a recreational soccer. Recreational soccer is something which can be played by any individual of uh, of any age, any gender, any uh, any people having clinical diagnosis which led to the significant improvement in their health. So I'll be discussing in my conference how and what are the benefits of recreational soccer in terms of physical health, mental health, social cohesion, psychological health, emotional health, and what are the key takeaways from other countries to apply in the curriculum of national education policy.
Hello, I am Mrs. Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Dr. H.R. Gajwani College of Education, Adipur, Kutchh. I am here as a part of an online conference, that is from Tradition IKS to Tomorrow NEP 2020, Multidisciplinary Conference for Viksit Bharat 2047. My topic for this conference is NEP 2020, Empowering Vocational Education for Inclusive Growth and a Viksit Bharat by 2047. The theme of this conference is the vision of Viksit Bharat. It is presented by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which aims to transform India into developed nation by 2047. This journey to 2047 mainly focuses on 4 areas. They are economic growth, social progress, environmental sustainability, and good governance. The National Policy on Education NEP 2020 serves to provide a framework with strong emphasis on vocational training of students and skill development. With its direct link with employment, vocational education will give opportunity for inclusive growth as well as social progress. And this will finally lead to employability for our youth and thus Viksit Bharat at 2047. Thank you.
Namaste. This is Priyadarshini, research scholar from Heartfulness Research Center, University of Mysore. In this session, I'm going to present how Indian knowledge systems and ancient Indian wisdom create an impact on holistic development of children and youth. The modern youth of today is facing unprecedented challenges such as poor self image, mental health issues, emotional turbulences, struggling with substance abuse, and addiction to cyber material, unhealthy competition, peer pressure, instability of family relationships, which lead to excessive materialism without a balancing spiritual insight. In this way, youth is bombarded with many opposing forces and conflicting influences. So, the current education system must address these issues by bringing contemplative practices into the curriculum to achieve internal stability and heart brain connection. This paper aims to address not only the educational needs of today's young generation, but also guide them to lead a balanced life by addressing their holistic development. Through my research work, an attempt has been made to infuse values and principles through a Gitopdesh course track titled Vishwasakshi, the Universal Witness, which is a blended program with online and offline sessions tailored for children and youth aged 10 to 14 and 15 to 21 years with value based thematic modules. Gitopdesh is an experiential platform with well defined learning outcomes and superior pedagogical principles, where it creates the wisdom bridge between modern education and ancient education. This course focuses on developing the creative potential of the students in line with National Education Policy 2020, Sustainable Development Goals, and universal human values by instilling timeless ancient principles into young minds. Participants delve into Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, selected shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ashtavakra Gita, exploring profound teachings through engaging discussions and interactive assignments. The ancient principles of these three texts are integrated with experiential heartfulness tools such as prayer, positive affirmations, and core practices include guided relaxation, meditation, inner connect, and rejuvenation, would prove the efficacy of the program on the holistic development of children and youth. Through my research work, I would like to conclude that Hitopdesh, along with heartfulness practices, foster in children and youth an inner transformation which helps them imbibing spiritual values, which further help in collective transformation of the society. I express my heartfelt gratitude to Vedant Knowledge Systems for giving me this opportunity. Thank you once again.
Hello everyone, I am Ingale Sanjaykumar from Sanjay Ghodawat University, Kolhapur. First of all, I would like to thank for giving me an opportunity for presentation of my paper in an international, multidisciplinary, multilingual online conference on from traditional IKS to tomorrow's NEP 2020, a multidisciplinary conference for Viksit Bharat 2047. I am going to present my paper titled Project-Based Learning in Higher Education, a comprehensive review of framework, approaches, and effectiveness. It provides an in-depth analysis of project-based learning as a pedagogical approach, This paper examines various PBL frameworks such as inquiry-based learning, problem-based learning, challenge-based learning, exploring their effectiveness across different academic disciplines. The study discusses the origins of PBL, its evolution, and its alignment with the National Education Policy 2020. NEP 2020 advocates for a holistic and multidisciplinary approach to education. The paper highlights the benefits of PBL, including improved problem-solving skills, student engagement, while also noting that its effectiveness varies by discipline and implementation. Gaps in research, in particular in emerging fields and technology integration, are identified, offering insights into optimizing PBL in higher education. PBL bridges the gap between the theoretical knowledge and practical application, enhancing technical competencies and soft skills, especially in professional education like engineering. PBL also fosters critical thinking and decision making and leadership through real-world business challenges for programs related to business administration. In social science and humanities also, PBL helps to enhance the research, cultural competency, and social responsibility. Gaps identifying in the future research includes unexplored discipline, integration of technology such as new digital tools, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. There is a need for longitudinal studies to assess the career outcomes of PBL graduates. This paper concludes that PBL is a powerful approach in higher education, particularly in engineering, where it effectively integrates practical and theoretical learning. PBL aligns with the goals of NEP 2020, fostering creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. However, its success depends on the discipline and the implementation strategy, the physical infrastructure, and continuous research to address the existing gap. I acknowledge the co-authors, Dr. VV Kulkarni from Sanjay Ghodawat University and Mr. Saminder Vibhute for their support.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are hearing me. I am Christian GENDEMEH, a PhD scholar at DESH Bhagat University, MANDI, GOBINDGARH, Punjab State, India. I am here to present to you a topic in athletics. But before that, let me present to you my co-authors. I have Dr. Praveen Kumar. He's the Director of Sports and Head of Department, Physical Education and Yogic Sciences, DESH Bhagat University, India. And I have Dr. Afabasi Masare, a Senior Lecturer at Jala University in the Department of Human Kinetics and Health Education, Republic of Sierra Leone. Three of us are involved in this research, and our discipline is athletics. We dealt with some elite athletes involved in athletics in the Republic of Sierra Leone. I now present to you my topic, and my topic reads, Assessing the Contribution of Psychological Readiness to Performance Enhancement in Athletics, Analyzing Cognitive and Emotional Factors Influencing Athletics Achievement, and Developing Interventions for Optimal Performance in Republic of Sierra Leone. My abstract read. In my abstract, I'm going to present to you the meaning of athletics and the tools that we use in our research and the results we concluded at. Athletics encompasses a diverse range of sporting events that include competitive activities such as running, jumping, training, and walking. The most common forms of athletics competition are track and field, road running, cross-country running, and race walking. Each straightforward nature and minimal requirement for costly equipment make athletics one of the most widely participated sports globally. In Sierra Leone today, athletics rank as the second most popular sport following football. Valuable insights were obtained from multiple sources using a range of data collection tools, including interviews and survey guides, to gather relevant information. This process was supplemented by a comprehensive review of related literature to enhance the study foundation. The finding highlights the presence of self-talk, distraction, motivation, anxiety among both male and female elite athletes. These results suggest the need for tailored motivational strategies for female athletes, as well as the need for addressing widespread anxiety and issue that should be prioritized by the Sierra Leone Athletics Association. I want to thank you for listening to me. God bless you. Christian GENDEMEH.
Hi, This is Dr. Smitha. My topic is the importance of music and art to develop cognition, skills, and creativity, a critical study in the context of music therapy. First of all, I'm sharing a video with you. Please watch it and we will come back. Music therapy is a wide branch with clinical and non-clinical music therapy, and here I work as a cognitive music therapist. Passive music therapy and active music therapy are two modes of music therapy. In this, passive music therapy is mainly listening to music, and active music therapy includes vocalization, instrumental music, playing instruments, etc. Music, when given as a therapy, is not meant to make these students professionals of music, but to use music as a tool to develop their skills. Playing musical instruments help them to develop their fine motor skills and gross motor skills. As a special educator, I also trained them to develop their language skills, math skills, writing skills, and reading skills. We have yoga class and breathing exercise also. Vocalization mainly focuses on their breathing capacity, long last breathing, lung capacity, and voice clarity, volume of voice, and clarity of words. This video we recorded while doing this research. It was a 1-year program at IUCSSM, MG University. Generally, we give importance to science subjects only, but every subject in this universe is equally important because art subjects give more cognitive skills. So the research question is, does music and art education contribute to the cognitive development of students with intellectual and learning challenges? Music as a therapy is affecting many parts of the brain, including motor cortex, auditory cortex, hypothalamus, and etc. While playing a musical instrument, both hands works, so the both sphere of the brain also works. Altogether, 35 different able students were selected for the therapy sessions with mild, moderate, and severe MR problems. 2 students were hearing impaired. Results were amazing that the moderate ranged MR students attained much results in their cognitive skills, performances, speech clarity, overall behavior pattern. Students with severe mental retardation couldn't make academic progresses, but behavioral changes and artistic progresses are there. So my presentation is coming to an end now. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's a matter of great pride and an immense pleasure to be a part of this international conference organized by Vedant. At the outset, let me thank my dear friend Arjun for inviting me to this conference and for asking me to present a paper here. The paper that I shall be presenting is titled A Tapestry of Tradition, Revitalization of Indian Heritage and Folk Art. India, a land imbued with tradition and culture, is a heritage and a folk art treasure trove. From the converted Madhubani paintings of Bihar to the effervescent Wadli art of Maharashtra, these affluent tapestries of artistic expressions have been passed down through generations, reflecting the unique socio-cultural fabric of the country. The origins of the traditional arts in India can be traced back to the prehistoric times when early humans used art to express the connection to the natural world and to appease divine forces. From the ancient carvings on the cave walls to the smooth brush strokes on soft canvas, we have come a long way today. The Indian way of life is profoundly imbued with many traditions, rituals, customs, beliefs, and deities. These art forms manifest the religio-aesthetic aspirations of the populace and reveal a deep-seated concern for their environment. Each painting resonates with the aesthetic, cultural, and spiritual sensibilities unique to its region. We observe a remarkable diversity in cultural manifestations, traditions, materials, techniques, and applications, each reflecting the distinct character of India's myriad regions and districts. The themes depicted in these paintings are intricately linked to nature, spirituality, and the local folklore and legends. Traditional arts are not relics of the past, but a living, breathing, entities that continue to evolve and adapt to changing times, serving as a bridge between our heritage and our future. It finds expression in various forms, from murals in urban spaces to fashion and home decor items that blend traditional motifs with modern aesthetics. These vibrant interplay between traditional and contemporary keeps Indian folk art animate and pertinent, enchanting the audiences in India and worldwide. However, with globalization and rapid urbanization, these traditional art forms face several challenges, including a decline in patronage, the loss of skilled artisans, and erosion of cultural identity. It is therefore imperative to preserve and promote this heritage, both as a cultural responsibility and as a scholarly pursuit. By recognizing the significance of these traditions and taking proactive steps to preserve and promote them, we can ensure that India's rich cultural heritage continues to thrive in the face of modernization. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Gayatri Vijay and he's Professor Mohiuddin Afzal and she's Professor Meghana. We are here to present the paper on Shaping the Future, Education and Skill Development for Viksit Bharat at 2047. India aims to become a developed nation by 2047, a centennial vision, a forward-thinking initiative of Bharat, that is by 2047. Through the Viksit Bharat at 2047 vision, it focuses on economic growth, social equality and technological process, strengthening the skill development and also to address the challenges aligned with the national goal and this forward-thinking initiative of our country. Despite the progress, despite being in Industrial Revolution 5.0, India's education system faces a lot of challenges like outdated curriculum, insufficient focus on the critical thinking and a lot of disparities to the access of the resources throughout the country. Coming to the literature review, studies highlight that India's progress in educational access through initiatives like RTE and Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, but stress the need for quality improvement and alignment with the global standards. Skill development programs like Skill India Mission have a positive impact, but highlight is to be done on the advanced training and industry alignment. So the gap, there are a lot of gaps identified in this area, and the next part will be covered by Professor Mohiuddin.
Thank you, Gayatri. So next we'll move on to the current state of education and skill. So current Indian education system is like we are more into a bookish thing. Most of the institutions are not able to cope up with the current industry, and the syllabus is also outdated syllabus. Old syllabus is being circulated now also. And overall overview is students are not getting the practical skills which they are in need of requirement in the modern days, and there are no skill development initiatives of that level where the students get the proper kind of education regarding the current job markets. And when we compare to global educational institutions, India is lacking very behind when we compare to all the most of the abroad countries. Next, we'll move on to the access and equity. Despite of having lots of access in digital platforms, but still Indian education system is lacking behind giving quality education and providing education in the rural areas, particularly when we compare. Next, quality of education is also very poor when we compare to other developing countries which are there, most of the developing countries. And syllabus, as I mentioned before, it's also outdated, which doesn't give a proper training for the students about the current market. Next, challenges which are faced in the education field and skill development. Industry academia linkage. There is not that much of linkage between industry and institutions where students will get most of their practical skills, and most of the colleges or institutions are not involving in technology and not using digital platforms perfectly, where they won't get to know about all the digital aspects and the uses of it. Next part is policy recommendations. What kind of way we can use to eradicate all those things. Best thing is we should focus on using all the modern techniques of curriculum, and which helps the students to gain more amount of knowledge and make them ready to go to the market. And accepting all the technologies, the new technologies, using them in the institutions will help, like VR and AR. If we use it, then it will also help the students to gain lots of knowledge. The next part of this presentation will be continued by Professor Meghana Sheth.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, coming to the part of public and private partnership, we have encouraged more of collaboration between public and private sectors to invest in educational infrastructure and curriculum development, and offer apprenticeship to align the education with the industry needs that has been required in our country. And then having more of case studies. We have examined successful education models like Delhi Educational Revolution and Finland's holistic approach, Germany's vocational training for insights into effective educational research. That all these have been made, we have researched on all of these. And then coming to the where I would like to conclude, telling that strengthening education and skill development is very crucial for Viksit Bharat at 2047, and implementing all these strategic reforms will ensure an inclusive, dynamic educational landscape, also innovating and equity for national progress. Yes, thank you.
Namaskar, I'm Shweta Daya, an assistant professor at School of Business, World University of Design, Haryana. I will be discussing how businesses can contribute to India's development under the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, focusing on innovation, sustainability and inclusive growth. As India approaches its 100th year of independence in 2047, the concept of Viksit Bharat or developed India becomes a crucial goal. This vision is not about economic growth but focuses on progress that is sustainable and inclusive for all. My presentation explores the role that strategic business management can play in achieving this vision. Built on three core pillars: innovation, sustainability and inclusive growth. Pillar 1 is innovation. Innovation fuels economic progress. By fostering research, development and adopting advanced technology, businesses can grow while staying competitive. A good example is India's financial sector, which through digital transformation had made financial services accessible to a broader range of people, including those in rural and remote areas who previously had limited access to the financial services. The second pillar is the sustainability. Sustainability is essential for long-term success. Businesses must integrate the environment-friendly practices. This includes focusing on the triple bottom line, that is people, planet and the profit. So by adopting renewable energy, reducing waste and ensuring sustainable supply chains, businesses can grow without harming the environment. Pillar 3 is inclusive growth. Inclusive growth ensures that the benefit of economic progress reach everyone. According to the theory of development as freedom given by Amartya Sen, true progress happens when all people are able to participate and benefit. So by adopting diversity, equity and inclusion practices, Businesses can foster an equitable society and drive both financial success and social development. So these three pillars, innovation, sustainability and inclusive growth, are interconnected. To ensure long-term success, businesses need to integrate them into their strategies and align them with India's national goals. Of course, challenges such as regulatory hurdles and talent shortages remain. However, these also present opportunities for growth, especially with India's youthful population and expanding middle class. So by addressing these challenges, businesses can play a significant role in shaping Viksit Bharat 2047. So in conclusion, embracing innovation, sustainability and inclusive growth will enable Indian businesses to lead the way towards a prosperous and equitable future for all, fulfilling the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Chandni Dhabilya and I am an aspiring PhD candidate at Karnavati University. The title of my research paper is The Relationship Between Conscientiousness and Achievement Motivation, Evidence from Literature. This study seeks to understand how personality traits, specifically conscientiousness, influences achievement motivation and how this relationship shapes personal and professional outcomes. Let me start by defining the two variables. Conscientiousness is one of the big five personality factors. It reflects an individual's ability to be disciplined, organized, and goal directed. Achievement motivation, the other variable, is the inherent drive to pursue challenging goals and excel. The core question this research addresses is how conscientiousness influences achievement motivation and what role do situational factors like feedback and task identity play in this relationship. I have adapted a literature review after carefully selecting studies that investigate the interaction between these two variables. Let me start by sharing some key findings from the literature. For instance, Barry et al. In 2013 introduced the theory of purposeful work behavior, which combines the roles of conscientiousness and achievement motivation to create a sense of meaningfulness in work. They argue that conscientious individuals strive for excellence and seek to complete tasks efficiently, leading to better performance in the workplace. Moreover, in supportive environments where the tasks are well defined and feedback is given, conscientious people tend to exhibit higher level of achievement motivation. Conversely, in less supportive environments, even highly conscientious people might feel demotivated if they are unclear about their task, progress, or contributions. The implications of this research are both theoretical and practical. For example, understanding how conscientiousness and achievement motivation work together could aid in recruitment processes, helping employers identify candidates who are more likely to perform well, are diligent, organized, and more likely to succeed. Thank you so much.
Good day, co-educators, peer reviewers, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Stephen Monday, a PhD scholar of environmental science with the DESH University, Punjab, India. I'm presenting a topic on assessing the impact of global warming on the structural design and concrete engineering of earth dams in northern Nigeria, a case study of the Alao Dam collapse in Borno State. This paper explores the relationship between global warming and structural stability of earth dams, with a focus on the collapse of Alao Dam in Borno State. Increasingly erratic weather patterns, such as extreme rainfall and prolonged droughts, have significantly impacted the structural design and concrete engineering of earth dams. This study uses the collapse of the Alao Dam as a case study to analyze the vulnerability of dams in northern Nigeria to climate-related risks. We examine the existing design protocols, identify weaknesses in concrete engineering under climate stress, and propose adaptation strategies for future constructions. Recent statistics on dam failures in the region are included to highlight the urgency of climate-resilient infrastructure. In developing countries, flooding results from climate change, excessive precipitation, building on waterways, sea level rise, and soil moisture regime, dam operations, especially along borders, uncontrolled rapid population growth, inadequate preparedness, and lack of political will. Flooding has both natural and human causes. McLeod et al. Identified excessive levels of precipitation as the main natural cause of flooding caused by climate change. Tremblay et al. Connects the occurrence of floods more to the highest level of soil moisture than to the highest amount of precipitation. Ladies and gentlemen, peer reviewers, co-educators, again, I am well pleased to have presented this topic, assessing the impact of global warming on structural design and concrete engineering of earth dams in northern Nigeria. Thank you.
So hello everyone. So I'll be taking you in the next 3 minutes through my presentation, which is on the topic psychological insight to propose a model for the reasons for upgradation as well as degradation of human intellect, and that would be in special reference to our scriptures Bhagavad Gita and Bhaj Govindam by Shankaracharya. So going on to the objectives, and the problems. The problem is most of the literature that we have in our academics is coming or inspired from the Western thought. But there are a lot of other things from our Eastern context that could be used. So that is the background for this. So the objective is we'll be proposing two models. One, identifying the reasons for upgradation of human intellect, and the source is Bhaj Govindam by Shankaracharya. And in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna gives a model in the shloks wherein he says what are the steps that results eventually into the degradation of human intellect, and how these two models are interconnected, and then finally what could be the possible suggestions. So this is the shlok of Bhagavad Gita from the Adhyay 2, and the shlok number is 62-63. Now if we go to the model straight away, what it suggests is, if one continuously thinks about these sensual material objects, that is Vishay Chintan, it develops an asakti, that is an attachment towards that object. And then there is a desire for that object, that is Vishay Kamana. Now, we all know that everything that we desire, we can't get it. And if we are too much attached to it, and if we don't get it, the resultant feeling or emotion is anger, that is krodh. When you are in the state of anger, basically you are delusion. So you are lacking the clarity of what is good and what is bad. So basically in that sammohan, that smriti brahm happens, that is that discretionary power is lost, and that results into buddhi nash, that is loss of intellect. That means you're not able to use your wisdom in deciding what is right and wrong, and eventually that leads to the fall of human being. Now, to the contrast, if you look at this shlok of Bhaj Govindam, it is the opposite. It says, If you are in a company of good people, then eventually you will develop a desire of non attachment, and that will make your mind non delusional, and you will not have your mind wavering here and there. So it will be stable intellect, which is required for Jivan Mukti, that is freedom from bondage. Now, if you see the comparison, on one side it is attraction or thinking of the Vishay which creates problems. On the other side, that is satsang, that will create non attachment. Eventually, one will result into sammohan, that is delusion, and the other will result into nirmohatvam, that is non attachment, and hence there would be loss of, or there would be an absence of delusion. And then one will result into buddhi nash, and the other will result into nishaltvatvam, that is your buddhi is stable. And eventually one will result into jivan nash, and the second would be into jivan mukti. Now, if we internalize this particular thing, the applications can be in the field of anger management, stress management, emotional management technique. This could be even proposed in a curriculum of management, psychology, sociology. NEP is made compulsory, though this can find a place in the IKS. So I think this is the conclusion, that if we go by this model, it has a lot of applications, and we are going back to our roots. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is Dr. Chirag Darji, Associate Professor at Children's Research University, and co-author Dr. Rajesh Chauhan, Associate Professor in History at Children's Research University. The topic of our paper is Views of Undergraduates on Viksit Bharat at 2047. Let us understand what is Viksit Bharat at 2047. India is going to complete 100 years of independence, and under the able leadership of the present Prime Minister, India have established certain concepts like Atmanirbhar, Skill India, Make in India projects, and many other schemes. We want university not simply to churn the degrees, but to enable individual to enhance skills and contribute in the Viksit Bharat 2047. Let us try to understand the objectives of the study. The objectives of the study is to understand and study the views of young graduates on Viksit Bharat, to study the role of male and female in Viksit Bharat 2047, and to understand the role of government in making India a Viksit Bharat. There are 3 questions asked to the students in the research questionnaire. Friends, let me tell you, it is a survey research method, and research was qualitative in nature. The data were collected from the students studying in undergraduate colleges. The data were collected. Let me talk about the population of the study. Population comprised 33 districts of Gujarat state, and out of it we took 27 districts, and in all 801 participants responded to our questionnaire. There were 3 questions asked to the students. Question number 1 is, how would Viksit Bharat look like in 2047? Second question was, what should we do to make India a Viksit Bharat? And third, what should government do to make India a Viksit Bharat? In order to collect the data, the researchers collected the descriptive answers from the students, and those answers were categorized, organized, reviewed, and then comprehensively it was presented in this particular paper. The paper also talks about the difference between developed countries and developing countries. So the developed countries and developing countries was identified depending upon the 4 components, that is education, political, and technological, and environmental changes. Now, looking upon all these components, India is focusing on how and what should we do to make India a developed country. Let us come to the findings of this particular study. The question number 1 was, how should Viksit Bharat look like? The students responded that it would look, there will be no corruption, it will be smart cities, smart nation, e-money, e-commerce and cashless, bagless days for students, cashless for the customers and business people, non-secular country, environmental stability would be found, good governance, constructive leaderships and planning, and environmental sustainability. These are all the major findings. Talking about the second question was, what do we need to do to reach to this goal? Many of the students opined that we should develop love among the people for the nation. Second, no corruption, unity, self-disciplines, self-motivation, educate more people, and the most important is sensitize each individual of the nation. Talking about the third question, it was, what is the role of government in the mission Viksit Bharat at 2047? And it is said that yes, government should reach to each individual and should provide more opportunities in terms of finance and education to the people. The more opportunities given, the people would explore the more and they would reach to the destination. Thus, to conclude, I must mention over here that the young graduates are so excited, are so curious to contribute, to initiate and to risk in this mission Viksit Bharat 2047. Thus, I again conclude that if given opportunity, one must knock the door. So let us grab the opportunity, create the opportunity and help the people. If individual develops, the nation develops. That's it. Thank you from our side.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Roma Viswas, counseling psychologist and yoga therapist. I'll present an abstract of my paper here titled Students' Mental Health and the Role of Positive Psychological Intervention, Changing State to Statement. This article is meant to review the present status of students' mental health conditions and how, with the help of positive psychological interventions, we can change their present condition from I can't do it to I can do it. Whether in competitive exams or facing challenges in real life apart from academics, majority of the student indicates that study nowadays are not enjoyable. Rather, they have been bearing the burden of education. Triggering factors here are huge academic pressures from coaching institutes, parents' expectations, peer pressure, and other psychological pressure of modern day known as fear of missing out or FOMO. Due to these factors, they are often feeling stressed, depressed, anxious, visual behavioral changes being observed in some cases. Some students complain about being neglected and faced violent or rude or heartless behavior from their parents. These are the reasons why their personal growth, psychological competence as a human being are being shattered. So there is an immediate need to address these issues faced by the students. No, we will neither control the competition nor can we change it, but we can always change the coping mechanism by changing our mental dialogue and perceptions. In this article, we will discuss how, with the help of positive psychological interventions, we can change the mental state of students to positive statesmen. My keywords are mental health, positive psychological interventions, personal growth. Objective of this study is to review the mental health condition of students and the role of positive psychological intervention play in addressing their mental and emotional needs. Methods, this is a case study based article, but I have used some secondary data, and for that I have reviewed relevant books, journals and referred different websites before writing. Thank you very much.
Yes, good morning. Myself, Vipul Sundhavatra. I am an assistant professor and also a PhD scholar. Yes, recently I am pursuing PhD in behavioral finance, and for that particular purpose I have write down a research paper, a behavioral finance, a systematic literature review. In this particular paper, as I have considered the lots more papers related to the behavioral finance. So in the basic way, so I have considered the purpose behind the paper. So the purpose behind this study is to identify the different behavioral biases affecting an investor while investing. So on the basis of this, to develop the conceptual model of the behavioral biases and also develop the historical framework of the behavioral biases, and more on to provide the further research direction in the field of behavioral finance. So this is the basic purpose behind studying this paper. Then the design and methodology I have considered in this paper, that is this paper is a review paper based on review of the relevant research studies in the field of behavioral finance from 2011 to 2023. And also I have considered the lots more papers related to sites, online platforms like the internet. Then also considered the publications like the Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Emerald Insight, Taylor Entrances, Shodhganga, Science Direct, etc. are the core source for the papers reviewed in this study. So in this particular way, I have also visited the IIM library, Vikram Sarabhai library, for the purpose of getting such kind of review for the literature. Then after researching this paper, yes, I have found out that the present paper described that the literature review on behavioral finance and the biases from 2011 to 2023, and it still continues under the developed and underdeveloped nations. Also find out that the study on the behavioral finance increased in the past few years. So there are lots more biases like overconfidence, mental accounting, anchoring, hard instance, lots of kinds of behavioral biases are there which affects the individual as well as the institutions. So all these papers are really very much useful for the researchers. Then the originality and the value of this study, that is it caters the different type of classifications and the review of the behavioral finance and also the behavioral biases, and also presents the collection in form of the systematic literature review matrix. So for the behavioral finance, it will help the student, researchers, academicians and so on. Many more parties are there. This research is useful for them. So for this particular research, I have considered the systematic literature review matrix tabular form. Yes, thank you so much.
Welcome to Multidisciplinary Conference for Viksit Bharat at 2047. My name is Dr. Hiren Patel from Charusat University. The topic of my research paper is Innovative Arts-Based Pedagogies in NEP 2020, a Path to Holistic Learning. If I talk about abstract, the National Education Policy 2020 introduces a comprehensive reform aimed at transforming India's educational framework by promoting innovative, experiential and interdisciplinary learning. One of the most significant shifts in this policy is the emphasis on arts-based pedagogies as a crucial component of holistic education. By integrating creative arts into curriculum, NEP 2020 seeks to nurture creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence, encouraging students to engage in a more meaningful and transformative learning experiences. This paper explores how arts-based pedagogies contribute to holistic learning in the context of NEP 2020. It investigates their potential in enhancing cognitive development, emotional well-being, and social interactions. The paper also highlights challenges such as teacher preparedness, resource availability, and curriculum design that need to be addressed for a successful implementation. The aim of this research paper is to explore how innovative arts-based pedagogies under NEP 2020 contributes to holistic student development by fostering creativity, emotional intelligence, and cognitive growth. If I talk about the results, the finding from the research indicates that arts-based pedagogies significantly contribute to the overall development of the student. The first point, emotional and social benefits. Engaging in creative arts like music, painting, and drama help the students to develop emotional intelligence and empathy. Group-based activities fostered collaboration, communication, and conflict resolution skills, enhancing social interaction. Second, increased engagement. Arts-based pedagogies proved effective in increasing students' interest and engagement. Teachers reported that students demonstrated more enthusiasm for learning and participated more actively in the classroom discussions and project. Third, teacher insights. Educators acknowledged the value of integrating arts-based method into teaching practices. They highlighted how these methods create more interactive and dynamic learning environment, promoting innovation and flexibility in their approach. If I talk about the last point, conclusion, the NEP 2020's emphasis on arts-based pedagogies offer a promising path to holistic learning. By integrating creative arts into curriculum, students can develop both cognitive and emotional skills essential for personal and professional growth. However, to fully realize the benefits of these approaches, challenges related to teacher training, curriculum design, and resource allocation must be addressed. With sustained efforts, arts-based pedagogies can play a crucial role in shaping India's future through a more well-rounded, creative, and innovative education system. Thank you.
Hello all, I'm Padma Rampalli, working as Associate Professor of English at Lakkireddy Banreddy College of Engineering. Today's my presentation is on women empowerment as a catalyst for societal transformation and analytical exploration. And my abstract is the following points I discussed in my abstract. The paper explores the critical role that women's empowerment plays a catalyst for significant societal transformation. The paper analyzes the facets of empowerment, including economic, educational, social, and political dimensions. The research suggests real empowerment has to start at home and encompass all facets of life in promoting sustainable development of Indian women. The paper examines the impact of economic empowerment on poverty reduction, family welfare, and community development, and explores the critical role of education in empowering women, focusing on the links between literacy, skill development, economic and political opportunities. And more key lines are, the research paper analyzes the social dimensions of empowerment, including access to health care, reproductive rights, and freedom from gender-based violence. The true empowerment of humanity lies in this balance, where both energies are equally respected and allowed to flourish. The paper also explores the barriers women facing in achieving empowerment and presents strategies for overcoming these obstacles. The findings suggest that empowering women is a strategic imperative for achieving broader societal progress. And the following points I discussed in my paper. The very first one is economic independence. Economic independence for women is not merely about earning an income. It involves access to resources, opportunities for entrepreneurship, and the capacity to make financial decisions that affects one's life and future. And the next one is education. Education is a powerful catalyst for social autonomy. By providing women with the knowledge and skills necessary to navigate the world, education empowers them to make informed decisions about their lives. And the next point is the economic empowerment. The economic empowerment of women has a direct and substantial impact on poverty reduction. Women's economic participation also has profound implications for family welfare. And the next point is on few social dimensions such as access to healthcare, reproductive rights, and freedom from gender-based violence. And few more points are discussed on strategies for enhancing women's empowerment in India. The very first one is gender-sensitive budgeting is a critical strategy for promoting women's empowerment. And the next one is educational initiatives along with legal reforms. And in enhancing the financial independence of Indian women, more economic empowerment programs must be initiated. And the most important point I discussed in my paper is technology and digital literacy. Access to technology and digital literacy has emerged as a powerful catalyst for empowering Indian women, particularly in rural and underdeveloped regions, needs enhancement. The next point I discussed is the political empowerment. The political empowerment of women in India is crucial for achieving gender-responsive governance and advancing legal reforms that promote equality and justice. And the conclusion is women empowerment is not merely a goal in itself, but a catalyst for comprehensive societal transformation. By fostering an environmental where women can fully realize their potential, societies can unlock new opportunities for growth, innovation, and development. As such, women's empowerment should be viewed as a strategic imperative for achieving a more just, equitable, and prosperous world. Thank you.
Vande Mataram, Jai Bharat. I am Dr. Deepak Chaudhary, Assistant Professor in IIT Gandhinagar. Sub-theme of conference is Strengthening Education and Skill Development. Title of my paper is Critical Analysis of Rupantar Program Module in the Context of NEP 2020 for Teacher Education. Keywords are Rupantar Program Module, National Education Policy 2020, Teacher Education, Critical Analysis. India is on the path of becoming a global superpower. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has envisioned transforming India into a developed nation by 2047. As part of the vision, the implementation of NEP 2020 is progressive across the nation. The development of any nation relies on its education system. Teachers play a crucial role in guiding the country in the right direction. The Rupantar program is highly useful for bringing fundamental changes in children. Therefore, the Rupantar program module will be useful into teacher training curricula. The researcher has chosen the result topic considering the possibility of including the Rupantar program into teacher training curricula. The objective of the research to conduct a critical analysis of Rupantar program module and to study the feasibility of the including this model into teacher training programs. The research question are: can the Rupantar program module be effectively integrated into teacher training curricula? How can the Rupantar program module is incorporated into curriculum of teacher training program? Methodology. This research is documentary research. The present research is qualitative in nature. It involves a critical analysis of how the Rupantar program module can be utilized in the field of teacher education under NEP 2020. For the purpose, the entire module has been understood in the context of the study of objective. All information for the research was obtained from the various 11 sections of the module. The module serves a tool of data collection, and various information were collected through a critical analysis of the module. The researcher has conducted the analysis based on personal experience, skill, and knowledge. The information was extracted to different sections of the module and analysis to understand and interpret. The module has total 11 sections. First section is introduction of the module. Second one is my hero. Third is focus on self-awareness. Fourth on self-confidence. Fifth on importance of time. Sixth on time management. Seventh on self-discipline. Eighth on good habit. Ninth on understanding the factor of self-development. 10th on developing reading habits, and 11 on communication skill. So this module is really useful for teacher education curricula. A limitation of the research is based on a single.
Greetings, distinguished chair and esteemed scholars. Iditi Srinivasan and Shreya Vasudevan, undergraduate students of BCom Accounting and Finance at MOP Vaishnav College, Chennai. Today, we proudly present our paper, An Adoption of Passwordless Banking, Understanding Consumer Behavior, under the sub-theme of Technology and Innovation for Progress towards the Viksit Bharat. This research was conducted under the valuable guidance of Ms. Ramya R., Assistant Professor at MOP Vaishnav College. The shift from traditional banking to digital payments like UPI has made India progress. However, this growth has highlighted authentication issues with password-based verification becoming increasingly tedious and vulnerable to phishing and hacking. To achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047, transitioning to passwordless banking is crucial, offering a more secure and hacker-resistant platform. This paper aims to dive deep into the concept, analyzing consumer behavior and security concerns surrounding passwordless banking. Passwordless banking refers to an authentication process where users can access their accounts without traditional passwords. Significance. In a rapidly digitizing country like India, passwordless banking provides a crucial step towards safeguarding financial transactions and ensuring a secure future for digital banking.
Coming to our research methodology, we chose the primary data approach. We collected responses via random sampling and conducted chi-square test and logistic regression analysis on SPSS software. Based on our research, we formulated two hypotheses, one with consumer demographics and the other with personal preferences with respect to passwordless banking technology. From our research, we were able to find out that consumer demographics did not have any association when it comes to influencing people's interest to move towards passwordless banking. And when it came to people transitioning from passwords to passwordless tech, it is seemed to be a 50-50 response when it comes to such transitioning. As we revolutionize towards a digitalized economy, it can be seen that passwordless technology is the future of banking authentication. When it comes to passwords being better than passwordless, the opinion is relative. Hence, in order to bring about passwordless technology, it is necessary that the government takes necessary measures to develop this technology. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all. Welcome to the Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047. From track 4, Social Sciences and Humanities, I have chosen my topic, Social Development and Human Rights. Social development and human rights under the Indian Constitution, India has acquainted with positive discrimination even prior to the independence 1947. During British reign, the government has introduced the reservation in favor of lower caste as well as the tribals. These policies created the new administrative categories which tended refashion in the old nations of untouchables. The word backward class were first used in 1870 by the Madras administration in the framework of affirmative action policy in favor of the undereducated groups when the list of backward enlarged and expanded, growing from 39 to 131 communities in 1920. The untouchables claimed the right of being treated as a distinct class. Hence, the sharing out of backward between the depressed class, untouchables and tribals and caste other than depressed class that was decided in 1925. From the depressed class seats in local and national assemblies, From the depressed class seats in the local nation assemblies were reserved from 1991 onwards. However, after the Government of India Act 1935, the untouchables were designated as the scheduled caste and the domination spread in the province of British India. After the independence, this group was officially reorganized and constituency assembly whereas the rest of the former depressed classes group were reclassified into a new category and other backward classes. Both such groups were supported to benefit from the program of positive discrimination under the scheme of Indian Constitution. At the time of independence, social development and human rights makers were highly influenced by the feeling of social equality and social justice. Social development and human rights under the Constitution. The Constitution of India has solemnly promised to all the citizens the socially, economically, politically liberty through the
Hello everyone, my name is Professor Charul Sharma and I'm an assistant professor at GNIT Institute of Management Studies, and I'm also an head of department at Internationalization and Alumni International Coordination as well. So first of all, I'm very happy to session the chair in this highly valuable, I would say, conference, that is International Conference on the theme of Viksit Bharat 2047. This is a festival of knowledge, I would say. So I really feel honored to session the chair as well. And to promote our students and the research community, I'm also presenting a research paper. And this is my research paper with my co-author, Dr. Bhupendrakumar Som. He's a director at GNIT Institute of Management Studies. And also, I would say he's a profound researcher. Whatever I learned is just from him as well. So this is my title of my research paper, that is Educational Equity and Inclusion, a modern bibliometric analysis using SEM. It's a structural equation modeling. So, as I'm belonging also from educational institute as well, so I always, try to research on this part as well. Okay, so I just want to first introduce. These are the presenter of my research paper. This is the abstract of my research paper, where basically we are trying to find out how equity and inclusions are addressed in the education. See, equality doesn't mean, or I would say the equity is just getting the equal chances, and inclusion is the feeling of belongingness, that yes, my institute valued me. Yes, so definitely, my research focused on the three areas which will ensure that all students have to, access a high quality educations, incorporating diverse perspective, that is on the curriculum, reducing achievement gaps between different student groups as well. Some of the students are, doing great. Some of the students are, like I would say, getting same of the opportunities. Still, some will be the lower performance. So the study evaluates organizational justice impacts on suppressing workplace misbehavior and job satisfaction mediation, which giving fairness enhancing solutions. And this is the paper which I referred. This is also my research paper with Dr. Som. On that, we have studied how organizational justice can be ensured and can lead to, minimize the workforce deviance capacities. So this is study, like our study, we are using the tool bibliometric analysis and the SEM for both. Bibliometrics, as we all know, this is the technique for analyzing academic publications, explore trends, identifying influential research, recovers, and uncover unemerging themes. But it is basically, it's a secondary data based paper. So it just, we are examining the broad range. We have used the databases of Scopus and the PubMed. So it just basically clarify the distinct between equity and the inclusion. I don't want to take more time on the abstract, so I'm writing it to the introduction as well. So for me, equity just focus on fair outcomes for all our students. Yes, inclusion means that they are creating learning environment that will meet the need of everyone. Focus area, that I already told you, ensuring all students have access, incorporate diverse viewpoints. If I'm talking about like my research target area is just our Greater Noida, Delhi NCR. In our area, most of the students are come from the, or they migrate, from the different areas. So that is also, I would say, ki we definitely ensure the diversity part as well. So we have to, being an head of the institutes, or I would say being of the head at the institute level, we have to minimize the achievement gaps as well. If I'm talking about what will be the implications for the stakeholder, it will offers valuables for the educators, policymakers, and the researchers. When I'm talking about the literature review, these are the three factors which I work upon. That is equity in education, inclusive education, and the third would be, I would say, the bibliometric analysis. So what we did is we just, I think in the next, I would say, or in my slide, I will share you. These are the research questions. Yes, how international efforts have to be made to create fair and inclusive education system, which is changing over the time. My time period is from 2015 to 2024, that how these things are evolved, and analyzing academic publications as well, which will, help how understand like how research or educations can be improved. Objective is just to global policies. We have to ensure some of the global policies that will, promote equity and inclusions in the education system. We want to analyze the bibliometric analysis on the research part. This is the methodology of the bibliometric analysis. It's a quantitative methods. The study gathered from 2015 to 23 in the Englishes. These are the areas. These are the search queries. In the bibliometric analysis, we just have to choose a one database, one or two database. I have used a Scopus database. On that, I have typed the words. I would say the keywords. Yes, that equity and inclusion or education. Some of the words I have also add it, but that is only which is not relevant, I just exclude them. Then for the data analysis part, the very first thing is about data collection, gather the data, then text pre-processing, clean the and prepare the, because whenever you are typing on a scopus or a database, there is a huge number of papers will be came out. There are some of the things which was not relevant, so we have to remove irrelevant things first. Then the keywords frequencies, if I'm saying about, so we have to calculate the frequency of specific words. When we are doing an bibliometric analysis, we are getting the charts as well. I didn't get the time to include this is in my paper, but these are the some charts, or I would say the trends, like equity, inclusion. So you will get the and also there is a color coding, so you will be able to get out the gist of your research, that yes, these are the some prominent variables which is studied earlier, and these are the trends are showing that there is an interconnection, or I would say the significant relationship between these 2 or 3 variables. Then the third or fourth would be that we will examine the co-occurrence analysis, where we examine the frequency of the keywords pair, like which variable has been studied with any, or which variable, and what is the connection themes in between them. Then we have to do a network analysis. We have to visualize all of the relationships. We have to get the network graphs, so that we can understand the interconnectedness. This is the basic, or I would say, when we have any thought or we have some variables, it will give us the foundations to that particular. We also get the clustered analysis. When we came about the data analysis and part, so this is something which I have used analysis, like I have used a bibliometric analysis by the VOS viewer. And these are the tools. And I would say, when I'm saying about the conclusion, because I really want to make it brief and just short, because it's just a promotion, just education video, where I just want to motivate of the students. So it's just creating inclusive behavior. It's really important. We have to get, everyone has to get equitable access. I have get these 3, like equity, inclusion, and education. These are the some variables which I get, and it will definitely strengthen. Due to the, I would say, some of the time I didn't get the time to add the limitations and the future scope. I already added that in my research paper. For that what is the limitations, I will get it from the bibliometric analysis. What is the future scope, or I would say, and what would be the further future recommendations for these students, which we will, or I would say the for the more of the researcher, which I added in my research paper. And for that, I definitely say that please go through my research paper, and you will see the difference between them. If you anything you find it that things we want it from me as well, I definitely would be happy for that. I just be far from you, only one email for that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Arun sir, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm looking forward for any further review or something. Yeah, I definitely admit that limitation and future recommendation part is not added, because just because of the lack of the time, which I already told it to you, but I have mentioned in my research paper as well, so you can all go through with this. So thank you so much.